Hi, and welcome back to Pittman's Pumpkin Patch, Pittman's Garden Patch. It is September the 14th, 2013, and I wanted just to give you an update on my fall/winter garden that I was growing. Last time I did a video, I think, was back on the 19th of August, maybe a little bit before that. But so I've been busy out here, as you'll see, doing a lot of cleaning up. Still got some more cleaning up to do. And transplanting and then things like that. So I'm preparing the soil. So let's start with talking about the soil here. I added more compost back into the soil, some more peat moss. I added in some Job's organic fertilizer, some 444 granular. Just kind of mixed it in. Added in my rock dust. Let me show you some of the rock dust here, and it's left in the bucket right there. The bag split open, so I had to dump the rest of it in the bucket. So rock dust, what does that do? That adds in all the trace minerals and all the elements and everything that your soil is usually void of, especially if you're digging in the ground and you're in the city, or even if you're just doing with compost, regular compost from your garden center. You need to add those things like the rock dust and Accelerite, which is another brand, and the Gaia Green Glacial Rock Dust, which is yet another brand of trace minerals and minerals that will enrich your soil and allow your plants to grow better and produce more for you. So, very important. And right now I got a batch of Boogie Brew compost tea going on in the garage in a 5-gallon bucket that later on this evening, or maybe tomorrow, I will be adding to watering my plants with. That way, they're going to get all the microbes and all the fungi and the bacteria, the good stuff that's going to be in your soil to help break down all those nutrients in there that you put in from the rock dust and all the other things and from your compost, and allow your plants to uptake those nutrients even more. So putting them in soil biologics is a very important thing, and Boogie Brew compost tea is one of the ways in which to get that in there. Also, I added in, I'm not sure if I added in any worm castings this time. I think I was running low on the supplies, so I think I was a little sparing with it. But anyways, I added some more vermiculite to help with soil retention and things like that. So all those things I was talking about for your soil is very important there to get better yields. So let's talk about what's going on in here. Well, in this particular bed right here, everything except for one plant is black-seeded Simpson. Okay, some of these were transplants. As you see, the smaller ones were the transplants, and they're starting to get going here. Now this one right here, the healthier looking one, this one actually a couple weeks before I transplanted anything out, that seed kind of spilled out of one of my little containers, and it went in the soil and everything. Of course, it germinated, and look how healthy it is from direct sowing versus growing in the little seeds packets or cells and then transplanting out later. You can see what kind of growth I've gotten just from direct sowing. So next time around, now that I know this kind of lettuce can tolerate the heat and everything in my area and the humidity and stuff at this time of year in late August to early September, mid-August I think, then now I know that black-seeded Simpson lettuce can be directly sown without worrying about it being cooked and baked by the sun at this time of year. This right here is a red sail lettuce. There was another black-seeded Simpson in there that didn't work out, and so I had some extra red sail lettuce that I figured, hey, I got the space, get it going, and it's doing pretty good too. It's doing real well. So black-seeded Simpson, red sail lettuce, looks to be very healthy. Over in this bed, you can see some plants obviously doing better than others. That's just the way it goes. This is red Russian kale. All of this bed is red Russian kale. So you can see the purplish red vein that's, hopefully you can see it, that's running through the plants. Yeah, they're on the back side there, and through the stems and everything. It's kind of a pinkish purplish. So red Russian kale, very high in nutrients. Now these were ones I started from seed and cells and transplanted out, and some of them did really well. Some of them are slow behind, but that's okay. They'll just extend the season hopefully, and everything else will start kicking off here. Little concerned here with my dinosaur kale that's in this bed. All of this is dinosaur kale. As you can see, these are also put in cells and grown just like the red Russian kale was, but the red Russian kale is doing better. The dinosaur kale has been very slow to get in growth. I got the one, maybe two plants. See the one over there, and the second one over there seems to be doing okay. That one in particular looks like it's going to be my best plant. But the rest of them are just not really taking off. I may direct sow some more seeds in here or something, and see if that method works better for this particular crop. But dinosaur kale is one of the most nutrient-dense leafy green vegetables in the world, and so I'm going to be adding that into some fresh salads and things like that. I'm not yet into that juicing scene just yet. I might try that one day, but right now I'm just going to try to get it into salads and do a little bit, maybe lightly steaming some of it and things like that, and adding it in. So hopefully after I get this with some compost tea, these things will take off even more. Just a quick trip over here, quick part over here to the blueberries bushes. Didn't get a whole lot this year, and I think a lot of that had to do with my pH level in the soil. When I started out in the springtime, the pH was around 5.7, so I thought, okay, that was good enough. It was under 6, it was good enough. Further research later shows it should have been between like 4.5 and 5.5, or even somewhere around there. And so I added some pH lowering pellets and everything, so hopefully it's going to keep in the soil, and I'll have to check it more periodically and keep up on it. I came out here earlier, did a little bit of pruning. Branches that are going crossways instead of straight up, I cut those out. Real stringy looking, brittle, thin, little spiny branches, I trimmed those little things out too, because they're not going to do much. But one of the things I've been noticing over the past few weeks that's going on with the blueberries is that they are doing their new growth. I have new growth going on right here, and all up here. This is all new growth, and you can see the lighter green up here on top, and that's the new growth there as well. So these things are producing out more leaves and more branches. Now obviously in a month or so it's probably going to be too cold for all that, and all these things are going to start turning color and dropping off, more new growth and everything, and new growth down here and everything, all that good stuff. I was kind of mad at myself here in this gap right here. I accidentally cut one of the new growths out of there, and I didn't mean to. I was trying to get another one, and I just had a little bad cut, so I got upset with myself for that. So but you can see these things are growing even more than well, if you go back and look at one of my previous videos from way back in the springtime. And here we are, like I said, September 14th, about 6 or 7 days before the start of fall. My favorite season of the year. But so this is putting on new growth and everything, and so this should be next year's. So it should be next year's. Blueberries should be even more, and I'm going to keep a better eye on that on the pH, and I'm going to, at springtime or whatnot, I'm going to come out here, maybe late February, early March or whatever, and I'm going to add some more compost and things around here to fill up these pots some more, and I'm going to put in some of the I'm going to add in some more trace minerals and everything like that, rock dust, and some Job's organic fertilizer 444, and any pH lowering agents I need to add, I'm going to take care of that at that time too. So it's going to be interesting to see what I get. It's kind of cool to see the new growth. The one of the varieties I have here, I have two plants of them, is these two right here. This one here and this one here. This is the Sunshine Blue, which is supposedly, what I was told, was going to give you a spring crop and will give you a fall crop of blueberries. And of course in the fall it's going to give you a smaller batch. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I see new leaf growth, but I'm not seeing flower buds at this time. I don't know if it'll do it or not, but if I get some, that'll be kind of cool. All right, so let's see what's going on there. Over in this bed right here that used to be the failure of my tomato plants, I have some Georgia collard greens. Now, most of it's Georgia collard greens. Now, so just this being just Georgia collards, this is Georgia hybrid collards. Now, I don't know what they crossbreeded the Georgia collards with, but supposedly the spacing was supposed to be 36 inches. Well, I do not have 36 inches in here, and I'm just figuring, with the good soil that I should have now, because I've enriched this and everything and done all the stuff I should do. Hopefully, this stuff will take off and the leaves won't get too crowded and everything, and I'll have some good collard greens to eat. I'll have to ask my dad how you cook those, because he's pretty good with that. Again, here's some red sail lettuce, a very healthy plant. Look at that, doing real well. Another red sail over there, just kind of, and another red sail there, and one over there. Just kind of intermingling it in between, because the collard green leaves, when they get bigger and everything, they'll put some shade and stuff on the lettuce, and that'll help protect them, help them keep them cool. So that'll be good. I still have some more collards right here in these cells that I got to get planted out. I just don't know where in the heck I'm going to put them. I got that bed over there, but I really that's not going to get any sunshine during the colder months. This should get some right here, and that'll get some there, and all the stuff closer to the house will get some. But that one over there will not get any direct sunlight. So, I just don't know exactly what I'm going to do. Maybe put some of these collards in some small buckets, or we'll see. In this bed right here, kind of, I lost track of where one kind of cabbage started and where it ended and where the other ones took over. I do know for a fact that these plants right here, all through here, that's Chinese cabbage. And so that's looking pretty good and everything. And that little runt right there, he barely had a root system on him when I got him out of the cell pack. He barely had a root system on him. So I figured, what the heck, put him in there, see what happens. Can't hurt. And I think he's starting to get some growth there going, so I'm happy with that. I know through here up to there, and I think over through here I have Savoy cabbage, and some of the rest of the cabbage over there, if I'm not mistaken, is New Jersey Wakefield. Okay, so I just don't know. I think that plant right there is the Savoy cabbage, and right here is where it starts the Wakefield cabbage, and it goes over there and back over to there. You see this right there, and there's one small one over there. That was some Paris Island romaine lettuce. I forgot I even still had that stuff growing in there. That's the stuff that took off and germinated very well in those cells. So I ran out of room, so I'm just kind of sprinkling them in between all the different plants, and hoping that they will take, and we'll see how it all goes. Hopefully I'm not overcrowding things, but the other plants should provide some good shade and everything for them during some of the hotter times that we will have during the fall here. Sometimes they can get fairly warm even in fall. Okay, so what do we got going on here? This used to be the big pumpkin patch part right here with the what was that, the Mr. Wrinkles pumpkins, and the Howden pumpkins were all in here. And you see my monster trellises. I mean, you see all the dead leaves and vines and things that are still left over from the pumpkin patch I haven't cleared out yet off of there. I'll get those in the next couple weeks or so. I cleared out the bag, got it all fixed up. And so let's see what's going on in here. I have, as you can see, some red sail lettuce intermingled in here. Some Paris Island romaine lettuce there, and there. Again, just and I think one over there, yeah. Just sprinkled it in between because I forgot I had those kind of things like, gee, I'm running out of room. I got to get them out. Let me put them in between. And I should get all the other leaves and everything from the other crops in here should provide some good shade for them, and they'll should still do fine. I have 9 broccoli plants. Pac-Man broccoli. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And like I said, there's some red sail lettuce there and there. Okay, so we'll see how that goes. These are just seedlings and everything that I got from the store, and just kind of put those out. See how they grow. The rest of these plants in here are cabbage, and I am trying to remember. I see the tag over there. I think it might be Bonnie's hybrid. That doesn't really tell me a whole lot, does it? Or you guys either. All right. So let's see. The sign says Bonnie hybrid, Bonnie's best cabbage. That's what it says on the tag. So I don't really know what that's really going to give me, as far as what kind, size of the cabbage head and all that kind of stuff like that. But there they are, and let's see what happens with them. Let's see what kind of grows good here and what doesn't. Now this bed was a little bit different. If you remember, this bed and that bed over there with all the other flowers and everything. This is the bed that had the mushroom compost and the topsoil mix that the pumpkins just thrived in. All the rest of the stuff that was out here back in the spring and summer had compost from a garden center where I guess theirs came from a landfill, and the crops did horrible in that stuff. But the pumpkins, this, like I said, mushroom compost topsoil mix, thrived like crazy. Now I'm hoping. So what I did was I came out here and rototilled up this stuff, cleaned out the bed, rototilled it up, everything, and then moved all the soil down to this end because this is the area that's going to get the sun. Because as you can see, it got a big, huge 10-foot wall that the city put in as a sound barrier because they're building a new extension road on the other side. And they're connecting one part of the road to another part of the road. And so this end's going to get most of the sun. Down there probably won't really get anything as far as direct sunlight as we get further into the late fall to winter kind of time. So anyways, I pulled all the mushroom compost and topsoil down here, added in more some bags of compost and mushroom compost mix that I got at the Home Depot, and I added in some more peat moss, and I think I added in some more vermiculite, and I mixed up the soil and everything, got it all in, added in my Job's 444 organic fertilizer, added in the rock dust and things like that, and transplanted things out. So I'm hoping that the mushroom compost still has plenty of nutrients, that the pumpkin plants didn't drain everything. I'm hoping that it'll have plenty of nutrients and plenty of everything that these plants will need to grow. And what kind of the cool thing, unintentional, is that I put some of the Paris Island lettuce in here, and I have a couple over there, which is not mushroom compost. So let's see what does better. Does the lettuce like the mushroom compost, or will that over there? Now that's still got a mixture of mushroom compost, but that's the bag stuff from Home Depot. This came from another nursery that sells this is stuff I can really testify to that it works really great. This mushroom compost that I got from a nursery, they delivered it earlier in the year. So let's see what happens, and take you up to the front. It's going to be a little bit noisier because I haven't shown you. Oh, geez Louise, how could I have forgotten? I forgot to show you guys the blackberry bushes, blackberry plants. Haven't done much of that in a while. Now, I got a decent amount, but this blackberry bush right here, it didn't. This is my Navajo plant right here. It didn't produce blackberry. It didn't produce anything during the summer, but the growth is getting along here in the late part of the summer. I'm now actually got a cane that's stretching out to the trellis I built. So this is finally starting to get some growth on here. I got a lot of new growth right. You can see right here on this one. This is a Navajo also. This is doing a heck of a lot better, you can see, than the other Navajo. So this is ahead, and this new canes, and this is all new growth in here. A lot of this. I've already come in and pruned out the old canes that produced blackberries. I'm pretty sure I got everything, but who knows? See, some of the leaves are changing color, and still got some new growth on here. Okay, canes coming out here and all this stuff, so I'm going to have to be doing some tying on there. Again, came and pruning. You can see the nice healthy green canes and everything. And so, because with blackberries, most of them, not all varieties, but most varieties of the blackberries, once they've produced their blackberries on those canes, you got, at the end of the season, you got to lap them off as close to the soil as possible, because they're not going to produce any more blackberries for you. They're done. And so you can see here's some new growth on the end of here. You know, so this is all looking pretty good. So I expect to have better blackberry production next year than I did this year. Didn't get a whole lot this year. New canes that I'm tying and wrapping around. New growth up here. This is going up here, coming down, going back up. So pretty soon, what I'm going to do, I'm nervous about doing, because I've never done it before, but I've been doing research on what's called tip nipping. I think it goes by other names, where you just pinch off the ends of the canes. I think when they get was it somewhere between 4 to 6 feet long, if you pinch off the canes and stop the growth of the length of the cane, it'll force lateral shoots to come out in different directions off of the cane, and that's supposedly where you're going to get a lot more berry production. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. I'm, like I said, a little nervous about doing that. And like I said, here's some new growth. I got to tie this one up. I'm bending this around and getting it to come back over here so I can get it on the 2-wire trellis. Okay, so like I said, new growth going on in here, tying things off, and I'll see if I can find some of those lateral shoots that are already growing on these things. It might be easier to show you on one of the other plants I got going on over here. All this, let's see if I can get in there and show you better. Right here is a lateral shoot